Well, guys, into summer and into the beginning of fall, we had a lot of rain, so we left the sunshiny days and sunsets into a lot of inclement weather. I think for about 2 weeks solid, we had rain, windstorms, you name it. But I did finally get out for a sail. For that, I'm grateful. First storm in a few weeks, blowing through really good. Just hitting us here now. I got some definitely squishing the fender here. I just tightened up on that spring line. Looks like my snubbers are in the wrong spot, but you can see the rain coming down over there. It's not all sunshine and rainbows on the boat. Oh, some lightning. Down there, but somebody's cooler's gone. It's still floating, so somebody might get it over there. You can see the front up there. The new hatch is not leaking. So I can actually sleep and watch the rain for a change. Now my mast is another story. You can see the water just dripping down there. That's one thing I have not solved yet. So it just basically goes down over to the plate, and then it just goes over and around and under, down into the bilge. Still gotta work on that one. Wow. I'm just showing off my my leaky windows here. The rain is so bad that it comes in through a lot of the deck hole mounting. So I was explaining earlier that I didn't have enough time to put the Sikaflex in underneath some of the mounts because I wasn't sure if that was where they were going to go yet, and I just ran out of time. So water gets in, and then it comes over to the window, and I guess the cabin header and the deck where they sandwich together, there's actually a seam. So it comes out the seam, and then it comes into the boat. So yeah, I've got a little bit of work to do there. Well, it's a good windstorm today. We've got 18 to 25, gusting to 35 here in the marina. Ooh, I can see my boat lane here. Good morning. It's I don't know what day it is, Saturday the 18th or something, or 17th. Haven't, a little frustrated. Work's just been killing me. We're in the middle of a migration from one system to another, so it's a huge pain. So I'm just trying to stretch my legs here. It's the first time sailing in almost 2 weeks, 3 weeks. And I just, even though the wind's not that great, I just wanted to get out and feel the air again in my face. I just got the mainsail up, and it went up nice and smooth. You can see I got wind coming up, and I'm not even moving here. My speedometer, or have to do the speed over ground, so I'm doing a knot over ground. Basically, there's not enough current to turn the wheel. I think it's got some algae on it. And so right now I'm going to just pull out that head sail. So with that head sail on, really makes a difference. So we're up from a knot to 2.7 knots now. And especially with the mainsail up, you get amplified airflow through with the main and the jib out. I probably could fly. Oh, we're heading over too much on the way. So up top, I'm using those the Davis instrument to kind of keep me pointed, because my anemometer and wind transducer is not functioning at the moment. So I'm a little wavy in my direction, but I use the telltales, the trailing indicators here on the sail to kind of tell me, okay, do I have my main in the right? And I'm not, I just hoisted it, so I'm not right yet. And then I look at the telltales on the front sail, kind of tell me, well, do I have the sail with the right shape? And right now I'm going back too much. I'm pinching, so probably, yeah, see, I'm inside those two indicators up there. So can't sail in that, that's the no sail zone. 2 knots of boat speed, so we're not exactly flying, but we are sailing. So as I mentioned, this is the first sail in 3 weeks, so yeah, I'm getting the itch out, so that's good. And then, right now I'm happy for sailing because a couple things I fixed by keeping my sails, or trimming a foot off my sails. First off, even the head sail, it still probably could go up another, I don't know, I probably could take another little bit off of that one, another foot probably, but so Kevin over at Bay Sails basically trimmed off that bottom line, and then so I didn't lose my sail shape. That was one of the things that he did. And then the same with the main. So what happened was, I kind of, now I understand, I think, why the sails were too big. The main boom was actually lowered down on the mast by about, gee, almost 3 feet. 2 feet. 2 feet down at least, yeah. So what ended up happening was that when the previous owner moved the boom mount up, because he wanted to clear the Dodger here, most likely, plus it's not less dangerous to hit your head, that kind of thing. So anyways, so when he moved that boom up, he didn't cut the sail. So like, I was trying, I couldn't understand, like, why is there this big bulb down at the bottom? I could never get, I guess that would be the luff. I'm just drawing a blank here with my sailing terminology. But the leading edge of the sail, I could never get it tight, which is important, especially in heavier winds. So now I can actually get it tight, and now I can control my outhaul a lot better. Oops. Yeah, like we're sailing like a drunken sailor here. But I think that's because of the wind shifts, but yeah. So if you can see that bridge today, I'm just going to go down to the bridge. I'm going up against the wind right now. I normally like staying kind of upwind and then doing a downwind sail back. But anyways, I'm just going to kind of go up around there, around the harbor, and then fortunately get back to work. So that's what I got to do. So what do they say? One day at a time. Don't get too stressed by it, eh? Nice to see another boat out though. So downwind sailing is such a different experience than upwind sailing. The gusts are gone. I'm hugging the coast, but basically I'm heading the boat fast as I can go without going into downwind territory. I'm getting too close to the shore here though, so I'm gonna just start aiming towards the marina. That's the other side of those ships. This guy's interesting. He was actually dumping out water from his ballast. So he probably couldn't fit under the bridge. So what they do is they, on the other side in the lake, they suck up water, they go through, and then when they get back here in the harbor, they dump it all out. And then they go pick up whatever supplies they're picking up. There's LaSalle Marina. I really need to get an autopilot. I've just been so busy at work and I'm behind on my projects, so I was like, well, what's the point? I can't get it installed anyway, so I'll just have it since having it sitting on a shelf somewhere. Jack lines are working really good. Dropping the sail is so much better. It's amazing the difference that makes. So anyways, glad to get out. I'll maybe just film the docking at the very end. It's a pretty uneventful sail here, going down at 2 knots. So back on my chart plotter, as you can see here, my direction change. It's a little finicky here in the harbor because down on the east, the west end of the harbor versus the east is more open. So there's like, it turns, and then there's a big land bend here. So when wind is coming kind of around, it gets blown by the curve, and like I said, it's fickle, like it doesn't hold true. So when the wind is coming this way, I'm close to the shore, so it kind of comes in and bends down when it's coming from the north. So the closer to the shore you are, you get a little bit more downwind or westerly direction. But then this is where I turned. So I came in and I just turned. That little subtle difference was enough to actually flip my sail all the way. It's good, and it means it's working. Just going slow here, 2 knots. I find it simpler to solo dock by getting everything ready in advance, like a lot in advance. So the only thing I leave out is the head sail. The main, especially with wind coming from behind, it's just too much to deal with. Dropping it, if it gets stuck in the jack lines or the rope, and I'm by myself, so I just don't have the latitude of very much time and error. So what I do is I prepare in advance. So here at the back, that's actually my stern rope. So I've kind of brought it on the outside, and it's just looped here. So I'm ready to grab that on my way out. The other thing too is I open up the gates way out here. I drop all of my fenders to make sure that my fenders are all in the right spot and they're not tangled in any of the lines. And then these are the other two. So this here is my my brake line, this one, and this is my bow line. I tie the stern in, and then I can pull the boat in with the brake line from the dock. So then I grab the bow line and I bring that over. So that's about it. And the bow line could get caught in the propeller. It's long enough to. So I keep it tied here, and I keep it on the inside of the lifelines just for that very reason. That's pretty much why. So it's less likely to fall overboard, but if it does, I've got to pay attention to this while I'm coming in and got the motor on. And that's about it. I don't get too much more prepared. Just I only come in under head sail normally, just because, like I said, it's slower, it's simpler. So we got a lot of activity out here with the sailing school, which is cool. Yeah, there it is there. Just actually the flag's totally drooped, so not much wind now coming in. So that's my approach to things. I also do a motor test, just make sure that it's working. So I can hear it, or actually I can feel it, but it's pretty quiet now. So I just put that on, just do a quick little test, make sure it works. But I'm getting a lot used to sailing in. So I sail it pretty much all the way. I'm just using the motor for the last 100 feet actually now. I almost bring it all the way down to where I turn in front of Red Green's boat. Actually, he's a interesting guy. If nobody knows who Red Green is, I'll put a link to he must be on YouTube. I've never looked him up, but he made a show, kind of a bit of a comedy, based upon dealing with duct tape. So anyways, more on that later. I picked a busy time to come in. Everybody's coming in. There's another boat coming up, so I'm going to go under motor power. Let's get tight in here. Thanks so much for subscribing. Really appreciate it. We set up a Patreon page so that we can work on getting some better cameras. I've already got a Patreon, thanks to Alyssa. Really appreciate that. Yeah, if you like the video, give us a thumbs up and share the video. I'm trying to just prepare a collection of all of my electric motor conversion work and whatnot. So I'm going to have to go check the batteries today. Actually, I noticed that my battery voltage, once I was underway, went to 49.12 volts. And usually it hangs on at 50 volts until I get out of the marina. So I couldn't, like, even just using it, I'm down to 49. So I'm guessing that I'm a bit low on water in the batteries. The distilled waters kind of come down, so I'm going to have to top that up. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you. Hello. Whoops, wind shift again. Right when I pick up the camera, that's fine. That's what happens when there's a wind shift.